Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. I hope everyone's been doing well. I hope you've had a great, well, we've seen each other since Valentine's Day, but I hope you had a great leap day. I hope you've had a great start to March. And today I figured we would do a flip through of my planners for the month of February. So I've got myself a mug of tea here, just some plain black tea. I got this new thermos. This is not an ad by any means, but this is the first new travel coffee mug I've bought in like years, a very, very long time. I was using the same two coffee mugs, kind of in and out of rotation for the last 10 years. Recently, I've been using both of them simultaneously, but I've noticed the older that they get, the harder it is to keep them clean. I've been using one of the mugs for well over 10 years and the other one for probably about 10 years. But the part that I found really difficult to, see if I can take the lid off here without spilling really hot tea everywhere. I hope this, oh my God, I hope this isn't always so hard to open. I guess it's secure, but my God, it should not be this difficult. Okay, well, oh my gosh, okay, jeez, Louise. Okay, I find the older a coffee mug, travel mug gets, this is really hard to keep clean, and like you can clean this, like I was cleaning my old lids like twice a week, and from like 3 days, 2-3 days of use, there would just be so much schmutz that builds up in this like rubberized O-ring part of the lid that it was like seriously gross. Like I should have given the schmutz to, sorry, that was loud. I should have given the schmutz to like a middle schooler for their science project or something, because it was real gross. So I'm not gonna drink the weird coffee lid O-ring schmutz anymore. I'm just gonna get one new mug, and my two older mugs were both like 16-ounce travel mugs. So I would drink one mug in the morning at home and on my way to work, and then I would take the second mug with me into work and drink that one there. But this one is not quite 32 ounces, but it's a 30-ounce tumbler, so I can just go with one mug now. I don't have to carry two mugs back and forth to the truck or to work every day. Not that that's too much of a nuisance, but still, you know, if that's the worst of my problems, I'm doing all right. But I'm not crazy about this kind of like pastel-y sage, to be honest. It's fine. It's a little too like pretty, in my opinion. I'm not, I was gonna say I'm not a pretty girl, but I am very pretty. But I don't like my things to be like super pastel-y, pretty, cutesy. But my other color choices were pink or blue, and I don't particularly like either of those colors too much, so green it is. Here we are. Anyway, sorry. Now that we've just chatted for a few minutes about absolutely nothing, let's actually get into my February flip-throughs. So I'm still using my Delphonics pouch. I love it. I received it as a Christmas gift from my mom this year. I did ask for it. I received it as a Christmas gift, and I love it. I use it every day. It keeps my notebooks nice, because my notebooks don't always stay at home with me. They do, not all of them all of the time, but my notebooks do go out and about in the world with me, so I like that it keeps them all from getting dirty or the pages along the spines getting bent to the edges. So we'll start with this. All of these planners, by the way, and one notebook. All of these planners or notebooks are sterling ink. They are all the common planners. I've said it before and I'll probably say it a million more times. I am in my sterling ink era. So this first little one is my memory keeper. It's got the gold foiled pages or edges. And this is just a little memory keeper, a space for me. I'm not using any of these beginning pages. That's just fine with me. I can zoom you in a little more. I don't really see a need for them in this planner specifically. Again, I don't really see a need for the calendars either. If I think of something later, I can backdate it or backplan it, but I'm just doing, this is January. I went over this in my January flip, but I'm just doing a few lines each day and I'm alternating the colors so that my brain can easily distinguish between the pages. And now we're entering February. One of these pages, I got the coloring mixed up. I think it was here. I don't remember. One of these weeks I messed up on the colors, but yeah, I think it was on this page where I have the light pink or purple like 3 times. But I'm not real worried about it. I just continued on with the colors and went from there in their proper rotation. But I have kept this up for the entire month of February and into March. So I usually do this the next day. I don't usually fill it out at the end of each day. I'll usually fill it out a few days later. But it's really nice, I'll usually fill it out the next day or a few days later. But it's been really nice to just kind of take a moment and kind of reflect. And then I have nothing else in the back here. I do have, when I was figuring out what colors I wanted to use in my planners this year, I did kind of go through some of my Tombow dual brush pens and pick out some colors that I liked, and then these ended up being the winning colors for this year. But yeah, that's that one, short and sweet. This next is my writing planner, and this one has not been used very heavily this year. It was used heavily in January. February, I've done, these are all still pages and things that let me zoom you out a little. There we go. Now you can see. These are all pages in the notes section that I want to do and spreads that I want to add. But I don't feel particularly rushed to have everything filled out right at the beginning of the year. Clearly, because we're now in March and still haven't done it. So for my goal breakdown sheet, I did not fill this out. For my Q1, I did, and you can see how much whiteout is on this page. It's a little bit ridiculous, because I thought I could plan for the whole quarter at once. Could not. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll just fill out the current month in 1 month ahead, which is still the rest of the quarter when you're in February. So that didn't work. And instead of whiting it out like I did so many times before, down here from March, I just crossed it out because I think it will be nice someday or later down the road to see what I thought my timeline would be in my tasks and to see kind of how that shifts and changes throughout the year. So I did just cross it out instead of whiting it out. My one thing I wanted to do this year was to do some formatting and basic spelling spell check and grammar spell check on my draft. And I can hear some of you screaming at me already through the computer or phone screen that you shouldn't edit for grammar and those sorts of things during the revision process, that you should work on your developmental edits and revisions first before you tackle the grammar and things like that. And I know that, I agree. However, in this situation, I was, sorry, I just had all of the thoughts leave my brain for a moment. I was drafting on the FreeWrite Traveler, which is a wonderful distraction-free writing drafting device. I will be doing a review of the FreeWrite Traveler here shortly, now that I have written a complete rough draft of a novel on it. I wanted to give first impressions on it, but I feel like I wouldn't have as much to say about it as I do now, having written a whole 80, I think my rough draft is 86,000 words. So having spent significantly more time with it now, I will be doing a review. But it is a very simplistic word processor. Therefore, it does not have any, and I mean any, form of spell check. If you type and ADN, it will not catch it. So what I am doing as I am formatting, I've uploaded my chapters. I start a new document for each chapter. And as I've been uploading the chapters to FreeWrite's proprietary but free cloud storage, and then transferring it to, I'm probably doing this way more complicated than it needs to be done, but I am not very tech savvy, so this is how I'm doing it. I have all of my chapters in separate documents on FreeWrite's cloud storage. Then I'm moving them to Google Drive and inserting them into Word. So because it is such a tedious project, I've only done about 6 chapters. And once I have them in Word, I am then just going through and doing a very basic spell check to catch things that are spelled wrong. Because when I read through my draft printed out on paper, I do not want my eyes to be catching the very basic and easy spelling and grammar mistakes that take a half a second to fix. I want to be fully focused on developmental edits and immersing myself in the story and really thinking critically about the story and not the fact that I spelled and incorrectly. So it's just, I'm only editing or spell checking as much as I need to so that I can fully focus on the story itself. So don't come for me, please. However, like I said, I only got about 6 pages imported into Word and spell checked. So I had every intention of doing that all this month. However, I did not finish it. Also, I've learned a very valuable lesson to, I label all of my scenes numerically in chronological order. And when I upload them to the cloud storage, it doesn't always upload them in the order that I've typed them in. Therefore, my chapters are wildly out of order in the cloud storage system. So not only do I have to put all of them into Google Drive, then transfer them into Word, then do the spell checking. Once I've done that for all of the chapters, then I want to go back and order them numerically, and I will be, you can bet your life on it, I will be writing scene 1, scene 2, yada, 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 all the way through the document. I think I have 65 scenes total. Some of those will be merged, some of them will be cut, some of them will probably be separated into 2. So who knows how many I'm going to end with, but it's just a big, tedious task, and I don't want to do it, but I know I need to finish this because the longer I procrastinate on it, the harder it's going to be to remember which scene is scene 17 or 36. And I do have actual index cards written out, so I just need to read the chapter for long enough to know for sure, yes, okay, this document I'm looking at matches up with scene card 42, and so on and so forth. But it's tedious, and I just don't want to do it. I really don't, but I know I need to. I just need to suck it up, Buttercup, and get it done, and I'll be much happier once I have that done. So piggybacking off of that, I will be working on this more in March. However, and I will be filming a separate video about this here soon. Man, I got a lot of plans and videos, don't I? Y'all better hold me accountable. So one of the next videos I want to post for you is going to be my plan for writing here in the spring months, what I plan to focus on, which is for all of this work and all of this we just talked about with my mystery novel in terms of formatting. I will not be moving ahead with revisions for it right now. I'm not giving up on this project. I love it. I definitely want to finish it. However, it's my goal to self-publish my first novel this year, and I think publishing a mystery as my debut novel is not a good idea, for many reasons. The first and foremost, I think, is I don't want to kind of pigeonhole myself into a genre that I'm not sure I want to write. It's easier to write contemporary fiction and then have your reader and fan base follow you into mystery or westerns or romance or whatever, wherever the wind blows me. But I think if I start out with mysteries as my genre, I will attract mystery readers, which is great. However, if I announce my second book and it's a western, all of my mystery fans are going to be like, whoa, 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 that's not what we signed up for. So I don't want to pigeonhole myself into a genre straight out the gate. The second reason that I don't want to publish a mystery novel as my first novel is mysteries are hard. They're hard to do well. It's hard to feed the reader the right amount of breadcrumbs. You want to give them enough so that they can follow the trail and follow the clues that you're leaving for them. But you don't want to give them too many to where they figure out the whole mystery by page 20. On the other end, you don't want to give them so few breadcrumbs that they're lost and they're confused. And when you reveal a big aha moment, they're going, wait, what? What the actual hell? Like, we didn't see that coming. Not because you're a good author and writer and wow, you got us with a plot twist. It's like, no, that character had approximately 6 lines of stage time and now you're saying they're this important character. So it's hard to do a mystery well. And I think I'm going to need a lot of time, more than this calendar year, to work on that mystery. And I want it to be done well. And I don't think that if I pushed myself to publish it this year, it would be the best it could be. I just don't think. I don't think it would. This is my first attempt at writing a mystery, and I want to take my time with it and really make sure it's how I want it to be. So, if you can hear the chirping, that's one of my cats, Astrid. She's very vocal. She has a lot to say all of the time. I'm going to take a sip of tea and hopefully not burn myself. Oh, it's still very hot. Yes, Astrid? Okay, so getting back to the actual flip. February was fairly unproductive, and I kind of gave myself that month to rest because I had just been working on the mystery rough draft for 3 months. So I didn't push myself too hard to do this formatting and document prep. And that's okay. Time goes on. Moving ahead to the weekly pages. I did put all of my Astrid. I did put all of my postbox documents into Google Drive, not all of them into Word, so I will need to edit that. And then I worked on my spell checking on the 9th, and that's, and I think that's all the further I got with formatting my documents was on the 9th. Well, I guess it's still technically this week. Earlier this week, I did some looking over at 2 other stories that I'm working on, 2 other novels that are in various stages of incompletion. No, actually, they're in the same stage of incompletion. They're both still being drafted. But I busted out all of my scene cards and my notebook, and I was looking at which one of these 2 projects I wanted to tackle and publish my first book with. So I was looking through my 2 drafts, and I did decide on one of them. So now that brings us to this week, and I want to kind of go through the draft that I have decided on working on this year. And I want to kind of look at how much time I think it will take me to finish drafting and kind of come up with that plan for what March and what April could look like, because we all know how all of this like forward planning works out. It works out with a bunch of whiteout. So I want to, maybe back in the notes pages here, create my tentative April plan, and then kind of as March is winding down to a close, look at that April plan and say, okay, how feasible is this and what changes do I need to make? And I think that's all I have. I have finished, I did my first ever tarot poll, and I did it with online, like a website. I don't have a physical set of tarot cards. I don't think I'm interested enough in tarot to buy my own deck. It's just not that big of an interest to me right now, but I thought it would be fun to kind of do a reading for myself with my writing year. So I pulled the cards on the website, looked at what their meanings mean, because I don't know I don't know much of anything about tarot. So it took a long time to kind of like sit there and read through each tarot card meaning and then kind of chew it over in my brain for a little bit and figure out what I think it means to me in my writing and my writing year. So I have all of those notes written down in here. This is my just plain B6 notebook. This is not a planner. So I do have all of those notes in here, and I just need to transfer them into my writing planner, which maybe I can do this weekend. But that will go here and probably here. and probably here, and probably here. It takes up, I think, 6 or 8 pages in a B6 size, so it will take up more in the N2 or week size. And then I can kind of continue on with some of these pages and spreads that I want to set up. So that's why I haven't set up more of these, is because I am waiting until I know exactly how much space this will take up. So that is my writing planner. And subsequently, I think that also takes care of this notebook. I haven't been using it a ton, but I'm sure as the year goes on, I will find more uses for it. So I'm not worried about it. Next in the lineup, we have my also N2 week size social media planner, basically my YouTube planner and notebook. I have a couple pages of notes that I've taken. Oh, well, that's not good. I guess it just scratches off, so deal with that later. And then again, I have some little sticky notes reminding myself of things I want to fill out. This is the one planner that I feel like I could have done without. I don't think at this stage in my YouTube journey, sorry, in my YouTube journey, it sounds so silly. I don't think I need a whole planner for it. Like, I just don't. I got excited. I let the like scarcity mindset of like, oh no, they're gonna sell out, and I bought this one because it was in the defect list for some reason, or sale, because I'm not a pink girly, but it's a good thing that the planner I use the least is also in the color I like the least, and I did do that intentionally. But in the quarterly here, I meant to keep stats and notes on that every month. Obviously, I haven't done that. Well, March is just starting, so it doesn't count. But yes, Astrid. But I did start writing on the days where I have a video post, just so I can kind of see where am I posting more, where am I posting less, about how much time is between each video. Like here, there's 2 in a row. And I'm not sure I'm ready to commit at this stage in my YouTube journey. I'm not sure if I'm ready to commit to saying I'll post a video every Friday or every other Monday, or I'm not ready to make any kind of commitment like that. I'm just having fun. I'm just doing what I want when I want, when the ideas hit me, and when I have time, and when I remember to scrub under my fingernails. All those good things. All those things have to line up, and then I make a video. So, but this will just help me see my consistency in posting or my inconsistency. And then on the monthly pages, I just put, again, when I've posted. I hit 100 subscribers on the 3rd of February, and that's what that star denotes on the 3rd. So thank you very much. That was very exciting. I can't believe 100 of you want to listen to me ramble. So, well, I think by now I'm like over 150 subscribers, so there's even more of you who apparently like listening to me. So thank you for sticking around. And on the 11th, I had told a few people in my personal life that I had started a YouTube channel, but it wasn't like, I had kind of asked those people to keep quiet about it because I wasn't sure if I was going to stick with this, or, you know, once you tell people, it becomes a whole thing, and I wasn't ready for it to be a whole thing yet, because a lot of times there's the connotation of like, oh, you're a YouTuber, like everyone just assumes you're chasing money and fame and those sorts of things, which are perfectly all right goals. They are not my goals, but those are perfectly fine to want if you want them. I'm not trying to knock anyone, but I didn't want the kind of negative connotation that a lot of people, that kind of comes to mind for a lot of people when they hear, oh, she's a YouTuber. Like, I was like internally cringing at the reactions that people in my life would have, and I was not ready to deal with that. But I put on a brave face, and I took a picture, and I posted it, and announced that I have a YouTube channel. And the feedback from people in my personal life has been really, really nice. So thank you. If you're someone I know IRL, thank you for being kind. Alrighty. Moving into the weekly section. Again, this is like pretty much just repeated information from the monthly. I have my video. I made a mistake here. I don't know what I wrote even, but I didn't want to use more freaking whiteout or correction tape, so I just put a sticker there because I was like, I'm not doing this. But here I just noted which videos I filmed and uploaded and scheduled. Again, just more milestones. Somebody, after I posted my face reveal, somebody wrote a really, really thoughtful and long comment. I got the notification on the comment when I was leaving Costco with my husband, and I started reading the comment, but then I was like, oh no, I'm gonna like need to sit down at my computer and read this, where I can, you know, take it in a little more and appropriately respond. So you know who you are. Thank you very much for the long comment. It was very sweet. And nothing. And then 2 more videos in a row. And then that brings us to today. So this is very minimal. Like I said, don't find myself using it a whole lot. Have some video ideas on this page. And then space for more video ideas. But I'm hoping that I will start using this more as the year goes on. But right now, this is definitely my least used planner. All right. Next, we'll move on to my, I don't know if you can, oh yeah, you can kind of see that. I say with the glare of the ring light and just the shiny foil glare of the lettering. This is my B6 full year common planner. Oh my gosh, Astrid is just, she is going on about something out there. So, still haven't done anything with this page. This I have referenced approximately 0 times since I wrote it, so, you know, there's that. This I've been consistent with this page so far. I have my February goals, which was to buy truck parts and then make 2 larger payments on my credit cards. For my writing goal, it was to print the rough draft of my mystery novel. Did not do that. Prepping the home office for renovation. I started making a good effort, and then we've hit some financial obligations that have pushed back my office renovation timeline. So didn't get very far on that. Then my fitness goals were to do 4 long dog walks. I think we did like 3, so almost, but not 4. And then to do ab and arm exercises 4 times. Definitely didn't do that. I did it 0 times. And then YouTube, my goal was to record and upload 3 videos, and I did 4. And then health, is to continue just letting my toes heal, because after the first long walk I did with the dogs, the next morning my toes were very sore, and they felt a little like swollen even. So I'm not pushing myself too much yet, and I feel like I can give myself a half check on eating healthier, because there were days where I definitely did and I was making a conscious effort, and then there were days where I definitely didn't and I was also making a conscious effort to not. So we're just gonna leave it at a neutral. This year my goals are just to focus on the current expenses. I'm not trying to pay more than the minimum payment. As much as I would like to, I'm not paying more than the minimum payment on my cards this month because I can't. We have our auto insurance coming up. We have the dogs going and getting a bath and nail trim. We are probably going to be boarding them overnight here shortly. I feel like there's a couple other things that I'm forgetting. But yeah, we've got some upcoming expenses that I just want to make sure we can cover those things first. My fitness goals, I said I'll do 3 long dog walks. That way I'm not trying to push ahead further. I'm just trying to maintain what I already did. And then I am going to push forward with trying to do arm exercises 3 times this month. The ones I do, I can like sit in my chair at work and do some of them. So just take 10 minutes out of my work day and get a little sweaty doing my arm exercises, because I do get sweaty. For my writing, I said I want to continue formatting my rough draft that I've finished, and I want to create my plan for March and April and start executing it. YouTube, I kept the same at 3 videos. So here's number 1, 2 more. And then purge and organize my office. Since we can't go to the hardware store right now and purchase the things that we need to purchase to renovate my office, I'm going to go through my things and kind of declutter. I don't have a ton of stuff in my office, but I can put away some decorations and go through my drawers and make sure those are neat and organized and tidy, and those kinds of things. And then for my health, I don't know. I said just to continue focusing on eating better. This sounds awful, like I don't care about my health, but I don't know if I want to keep this as a category, even though it is one of my categories here. Maybe I should just look at this and think about some other things I could do in my health category for myself. Yes, Astrid? Oh, meow. Oh, she's singing a sad song, hoping you viewers will be suckers and let her in here. I have my home I have my home office door closed so that she does not come in here. Her alignment is chaotic neutral, possibly chaotic evil, but she has enough sweet moments that she, I think, is like chaotic neutral. Anyway, enough. So here I have my habit tracker, which I did keep up on filling out, and then my Poshmark stats I have filled out. Then we're moving on to, well, this is March, we don't need that. This was my February monthly. Some days I added stickers, some days I did nothing, and that's fine. I don't reference my monthlies a ton. I sound like a loser when I say this, but I don't have like a ton of stuff going on. Like I don't have kids to keep track of like their, baseball schedules or violin lessons or, whatever. I don't have a job that I travel for. I don't have luckily and thankfully, I don't have a ton of doctor's appointments that I need to keep track of. So I don't really reference my monthlies all that often. I mostly just back plan it. But things that I do know ahead of time, I do put on the calendar. So like in May, I have a massage appointment. So I've already put that there. Oh, excuse me. And I've put it in my monthlies. Okay, moving on to, I put it there and in my weeklies. Sorry, I misspoke there. So in my weekly section, this first weekend, because I just finished drafting my rough draft on the 31st of January, I think I just had like a bout of wild energy because I was so productive around the house. Like, I was washing the mattress cover. I was organizing some pet receipts. I was folding laundry. Good for me. I was listing items that I have for sale on Poshmark. And that was a lot of work. I spent like a solid 4 hours on that. So, and here's my monthlies. They're pretty minimal. They're not very decorated. They're not very like, they're just not. They're exactly what I need them to be, which is not a whole lot. I just need it to mostly to keep my to-do list straight. So yeah. And then that's this week, which brings us to March. Alrighty. Going back here to the notes section, I have my table of contents, my silent task list, my seasonal task list. So this is, I'm sure a lot of you have seen, these are called various things: seasonal task lists, adulting logs, all sorts of different names that people call them by. But basically it's a space for all those tasks that you sit there and say, when did I last fill in the blank? Change your oil. I guess your car tells you when it's time, but still, to keep track of it. When did you last change your oil? When did you last deep clean your bathroom? When did you last wash your water bottle that you use all the time? When did you last wash the waterproof mattress cover and rotate your mattress? All those sorts of things. So I did do some things there. Oh, thank God I haven't needed to use this yet. My menstrual tracker. Oh, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. I wonder if like the very quiet sound of me yawning made you yawn. I hope not. And if so, I apologize. I've set up the menstrual tracker for the second half of the year. Obviously, we're not there yet. When I start running again, I have my Couch to 5K plan and then a space for some notes. I've added a few things to my wish list. And then books that I've read. I haven't finished this one yet, but I did write it down early. I'll probably finish it today. I've got less than 50 pages left, so I can finish that today. These are just some notes and encouragements on my low buy goals this year. And then that was my January list. Here's my February like red light purchases. Grace, oh goodness, what is her channel name? I think it's just Grace Nevitt. I hope I'm pronouncing their last name correctly. But she has a YouTube channel and she talks a lot about kind of low buy and no buy. And she has her red, yellow, and green light purchases. Green light purchases are things you need to spend your money on, like your rent or mortgage, like groceries, paying your bills, all buying your pet food. All of those things are green light purchases. Buying household goods like toilet paper or dish sponges. All of those are valid green light purchases. Also on her green light list is replacing an item that is lost or damaged. So my new thermos I said it was a green light purchase for myself because I'm tired of drinking out of coffee mugs that need to be washed, like deep cleaned every single day. And I don't have the energy or motivation to clean them every single day. So I'm not getting rid of them. They're still at home. Take the top off of one of them and it's a great at-home mug, and it doesn't require that level of deep cleaning because it's just the lid that's grody. So I did go ahead and say that this was a green light purchase. Yellow light purchases are things that are okay, but you need to be kind of mindful and intentional about buying. This could have been a yellow light purchase where it's like, okay, I am going to let myself buy a new travel mug, but I'm not going to go spend a bunch of money on it. This was I think $13 at Walmart. So I'm not going out and spending $60 on a mug. Another yellow light purchase would be, my favorite jeans ripped in the crotch and everyone's going to see my underwear. That's a green light because yes, you can replace your pants, but be careful that you're not spending above your means, or you're not buying multiple things to replace the one thing, or if it's your favorite pair of jeans, you're not buying something in a vastly different style thinking you'll love it when really you're gonna only wear it a couple times. That's kind of risky. So just kind of being mindful with those purchases. Another yellow light purchase, in my opinion, for myself, is eating out, takeout, going out for food. That's a yellow light. I'm not completely cutting it out of my life. We like to go out for dinner with some of our friends. We like to order takeout. I'm a sucker for pad see-ew, but we need to be mindful about how often we're doing that. And then red light purchases are things that I have no business spending my money on. It was impulsive, it was overindulgent, it was unnecessary. All of those things. Maybe I was shopping because I was feeling anxious about something, and shopping would be a way to kind of give yourself that immediate dopamine hit. The whole retail therapy concept. But I did have a couple wins this month. There was, Instagram advertising has been going for me hard this month. I saw this hoodie and I really like it. I really want it, but it's $70 or $72. And I have no business spending $72 on a hoodie, period. Let alone something that I just happened to see on a whim on Instagram. And I did go as far as to apply my first time purchase or coupon code and put it in my shopping cart. And then I was like, no, close that tab, Sarah, walk away. And I did. So I'm really proud of myself. Similarly, I added a bunch of things to a shopping cart in a moment of weakness. And then again, I was able to stop myself and just say no and close the tab. So, kind of a yellow light. I had to go to the store the other day and purchase, kind of ironically, all health and beauty products that more beauty products that I like. I don't really buy beauty things very often at all. And so the fact that I needed like a few things all at once was kind of abnormal, but my husband and I needed more ponytail holders. We needed more face lotion. I have this mousse that I use. It's nothing fancy. It's just herbal essences. I think it's herbal essences. I don't know. And I really like it, and my can of it was almost gone, so I wanted to replace that can, which is a yellow light item because I don't truly need it, but it's a green light item in my opinion because I am just purchasing something to replace something. And then I had, okay, this is embarrassing. This is really embarrassing. So I don't brush my hair very often, like at all. One, my hair is just kind of unruly and I don't like brushing it because it hurts. And for a little while I was trying to brush my hair every day to hopefully like detangle it and make it nice, and I just, it's not nice. My hair is not nice. Like I'm never going to be the woman who like can run her fingers through her hair because every single inch of my hair, my fingers just get stuck with knots and tangles. So I don't brush my hair very often because I just can't be bothered. And I had like a wet brush. That was at the recommendation of one of my friends, I believe, because I asked her like what type of hairbrush is good for my hair type, and she recommended the wet brush. So I had one. It was fine. I used it like maybe once a week or so whenever I wash my hair, and it was fine. And then the top half broke. What do? Instead of buying a new hairbrush, I just kept using the bottom half to brush my hair because I don't brush my hair all that often. So like, it doesn't matter that I'm brushing my hair with a half of a hairbrush. It's fine. Don't judge me, please. Don't judge me. So I was minding my own business, brushing my hair one day a couple weeks ago. What happens? The half that I'm still using breaks in half. So now I have like a quarter of a hairbrush, which is not a lot of hairbrush. It's just not. So, you know, I could get away with using a half of a hairbrush, but a quarter of a hairbrush, no, come on. So I bought a new hairbrush. Not really something I wanted to spend my money on, but it's fine. It is what it is. And then I was in the hair aisles and I had a little moment of weakness and was like, but I want to be that girl with pretty hair. Woman, I'm not a girl, I'm a woman. I want to be that woman with pretty hair. Like, I want to be able to run my fingers through my hair or, you know, just have pretty hair. So my hair gets kind of like dry on the ends. So I bought an oil, like strengthening oil thing. I don't know if it's going to work. We'll see. And then my hair is naturally like kind of wavy. It's not like ringlet curls, but it's kind of wavy would be the best way to describe it. And so I bought some hair gel to kind of accentuate the waviness, but we'll see. So I did kind of splurge and buy 2 hair products, but it's fine. And then my last reflection on here was, because I've been doing really well with not buying unnecessary things like clothing, which is my weakness. When I want to shop, I think that this new sports bra or this new flannel will save my life and just make everything better. So I've been really good at not shopping and spending money on things like that. However, I think that we ate out a lot this month, and I purchased a lot of snacks at work when I could have just brought food from home. And sometimes it did require me making a trip to the store to then bring snacks to work and lunches and things like that. But like, just do it. Just do it. Just go to the stupid grocery store. I know you hate it, but it's fine. You just got to do it. That's a pep talk for myself. So my way of kind of responding to not being able to purchase things like clothing was to purchase food instead and be like, oh, but I have to eat, so that justifies it, right? And it's like, yeah, sure, you do need to eat. And like I said, I'm not saying that we don't ever do takeout. I'm not trying to limit ourselves in that way, because like I said, we love going out for Thai food or Indian food, but I need to like rein it in this next month. And I did start a little tally here of number of times I ordered takeout or ate out this month, and I tallied 9, and I don't even think that's all of them, which is like, that's wild. That's way more than like we usually do in a month. We usually probably like eat out. In some of these, I think 2 of these times, maybe just 1, was dinner with friends. So like, it doesn't count, but it does still count. I think usually we eat out like 3 to 6 times a month. We don't eat out a whole lot, but this month I just like kind of went wild with it. So for March, I need to just rein it in and get control of it. And that brings us to the end of my common planner, my daily driver, as I call it. And lastly, because I realize I am taking up too much of y'all's time, my reading journal. So I'm going to take a sip of tea. You can take a bite of your snack or whatnot. Oh my God, this is still really hot, and it's been like over an hour since I made it. And I've had the little lid open too, so it can cool down, but it's just not. Okay, well, that's good to know. It keeps your drink hot. That's a plus. So this is my reading journal. This is the A5 full year common planner. Up front, I just have some notes, and then I have my stickers that I use in my reading journal. So, for my quarterly section, oh yeah, back up. I have nothing on my title page. That's fine. For my book bingo, this is just for fun. I'm not like, I'm not trying for this specifically, but I did check off a how done it or why done it book. I read The Island by Natalie. I'm pretty sure is her first name Natalie Preston. So I, instead of crossing it out or doing something, I put a little dot sticker there. And then going into the quarterly and quarterly pages, my goals were to write 1 review, which I wrote a review for The Island. It was not a particularly nice review. I wasn't disrespectful. I wasn't downright mean, but I had next to nothing nice to say about this book. And then my goal was to read 2 books. I wasn't sure if I was going to count that as 2 books this month, because I read probably about half of Lonesome Dove in the month of January, but I did finish it this month, so I counted it. And then I read The Island, so I did read my 2 books, and I wrote my review. And then on this page, I've just been keeping track of, I've been keeping track of how many books I've read for the month and how many pages I've read for the month. Can Sarah do mental math? 28, 58, 62, 66, 96, 102, 104, 113, 126, 146, 143, 184, 195, I'm not doing this right now. I feel too much pressure. I can do mental math. I'm actually pretty good at basic arithmetic in my head, but I'm too stressed out. I'll get back to you. And then for the month of February, I just kept track of what I was reading, and kind of how long it took me to read. And that brings us to March. So, moving on to the weekly section. This section in the weeklies, I just keep track of what I'm reading. This is, oh yeah, start of February. How many pages I read that day up top. And then just like a little tidbit about my reading that day. Like, I read a little bit at work, or here I read before bed and I was actually really enjoying it, but it was getting late and I knew I needed to go to sleep. So these are just like little snippets about my reading that day. This day was really fun. I spent almost this whole Sunday reading. I finished Lonesome Dove, and then I read like the first, I think, 50 or 100 pages of The Island. So it was really nice just to like sit in my orange, my vintage 70s orange velvet reading chair and like sip coffee and tea all day. It was very nice, very luxurious. And again, I read no pages those days. And I read no pages this day. So I had 3 days this month where I did not read any or at all. And I think in January I only had 1 day that I didn't read. Yeah. Oh, this day. Whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 5 days where I didn't read anything. I already returned it to the library, so don't have to worry about that. But yeah, that's my weekly section. Moving on to the back notes pages. I have been printing off book covers for the books that I'm reading this year. And because I, like I said, am not tech savvy, I have instructions here on how to format and print book covers. These instructions print off a book cover this size. However, to put this size image in my 2024 bookshelf, I felt like it was just a little too big. I didn't want every book taking up that much space. So I wrote myself down here a note to do a 1.25 width and then let it auto adjust for the height for this page, because then I'll be able to fit more books. And I do have a second page for my 2024 bookshelf. So on this bookshelf, I'm just doing the cover and my star rating. And then, I was thinking before I started filming, I was like, I wonder what I'm gonna find when I'm actually going through this with viewers that I haven't filled out. And I found those things, even though I went through all of my pages yesterday, trying to look for specifically these things that, I would to catch things like this before I filmed. But that's okay. Things are always going to slip through the cracks. nothing in there. I think I added like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 book recommendations, and then I have my reviews. And I know people get all sorts of, some people do that, oh, what's that acronym? There's an acronym out there that a lot of folks use to rate and review books, and it's based on like, oh gosh, I'm not gonna get this right, but it's based on things like character development, plot, style or prose. There's different metrics in which there's different metrics to kind of guide readers when they're thinking about the books they've read. I'm not doing that. I'm just word vomiting my thoughts. So up here I have the title, author, genre, number of pages, the publisher, and the year published. And then I did the same, and I have the star rating as well. Here I added it inside the washi tape. Here I clearly forgot. That's fine. I don't care. So it's just on top of the washi. And then again, my review. And then I will be very soon printing out the book cover for Miracle Creek, and I will be writing the review for that. So that is my February planner flip. If you stuck around this whole time and listened to me rambling, thank you. I don't know why you did, but I'm happy you did. So let me know how February went in your planners, what you're using, what as your planners or notebooks, what was working for you, what wasn't working for you, all of those sorts of things. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your weekend. It's Saturday afternoon when I'm filming this, so have fun, and I will see you all very soon. Take care. Bye.